Hello, everybody. It's been a while, and I feel more sane. I prefer to be insane when I was talking about certain things that were about to happen in the future, whether it was a day, a month, or a year, or maybe multiple years. I prefer to be wrong rather than be right. Well, I was right all along. Unfortunately, my visions have manifested one after the other. What follows, I'll get to at the end. Let's recap. When the pandemic first started, I made a video, 2.5 hour long presentation about the four most important factors of what that pandemic meant. Number one, what it is. And I went on to demonstrate how it's all neural dust. Dust particles in the atmosphere, which are really nanotechnology. Number two, how it spread. The 5G smart grid, frequencies, and certain institutions such as HARP. Number three, who is doing it? I stated that the Roman Empire never died. They just transformed into corporations. Thus, back in the 1800s, during the time of Napoleon Bonaparte, I mentioned that even today there is a website called the Holy Roman Empire Association.com or gov, can't remember right now, which lists all of them. This ruling elite that rule this world manipulate us on a daily basis. They manipulate our income, our work, the things we eat or consume, the things we do for entertainment, whether it's a game on our devices or a car we purchase to go on whatever trip. We're manipulated. And then I spoke about number four, what their agenda is. And the conclusion that I came to based on all the evidence I presented was that there would be something related to what the Georgia Guidestones say. A large percentage of the population eradicated from this earth. We are too many, we are too intelligent, and the internet has given us way too much knowledge. Ironically, that video with a full analysis for 2.5 hours of what I just said was allowed to stay on my account for over 2 years. Less than 2 months ago, YouTube said, "We deleted your video because it violated whatever policy." I started the video with my own personal opinions. It's all my own personal opinions, it's my own personal self expression. There's no freedom of speech anymore. And that's clearly visible around the world. Where are we today? How close are we to what's next? For step four back then, I said it would probably lead to some bullshit war started either by Russia or China with some nuclear weapon. Everybody knows about the Russia-Ukraine war, right? But everybody's looking the wrong way. The right way to look at is economies. Look at every single country in the world right now and see what is happening economically. If there is such a thing as a nuclear option, that option is already being enforced. We're talking about implosion, which is called inflation, it's called stagnation, it's called the loss of jobs, the loss of tourism, the loss of religion, the loss of education, the loss of culture, the loss of everything that it means to be a human being living in that country, especially if you are born there. It is the loss of everything. That is more nuclear than the nuclear option itself. You see, those that rule us, and they are called the Anunnaki, if you don't know this. Yes, read up on the Anunnaki. Read up on Zachariah Sitchin. He may not be right about everything, but he got a lot of it right. If if we're talking about finding the needle in the haystack to find out where the source of all the problem is, he found the needle. Did he decipher it all the way? No. Can we decipher it all the way? No. But we can get an idea. You want to know who is ruling this world? Who is acting like God but is not God? It's the Anunnaki. Anu, Enki, and Enlil came to Earth thousands of years ago in the past. For what? Gold. What is gold? Everyone thinks it's that shiny yellow stuff that is solid. No. No. Gold. Okay, let's talk about this differently. In 1933 in the US, the gold standard was removed, which means that everything that had equivalent value in gold lost its equivalent value in gold. But it had to be replaced by something, right? Well, what became the gold standard ever since? Human labor. You are born, you are given a social security number. Yes, that was instituted back then. And based on how rich your parents were, what social class they were, what education they received, and blah 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 blah. All these factors, like any business analysis, determine what you, as the newborn, or in some cases, like I was, the newly made citizen, they determined how much labor output you would put out for them. In essence, these beings are feeding off our very light, our very souls. And they determine how much light each soul has based on family background. Add on top of that emotions, add on top of that empathy or lack of empathy, love, hate, or the absence of both. Every person has a value. Every person is a gold standard. Every person is food. We are the sheep. We are the prey. We are the suckers because we are as intelligent as they are, while we may not have had access to information they had up until now. We have the access to information now. Yeah, they're still slightly superior because they did genetic modification to create the Homo sapiens sapiens race. However, that does not make them smarter or or better. It doesn't. If they are acting like gods or have been acting like gods for thousands and thousands of years, we have reached their level. Technically, we are like gods too. Soul form alone, no body. We are gods. Some of us very ancient. But in these bodies, in this lives, in this reality, now we can be gods like them. The world is about to go to war. We're already seeing the symptoms. English Prime Minister gave his demission. Tonight, the Italian Prime Minister did the same. The former Japanese Prime Minister, who is the equivalent of Obama, assassinated. The country of Sri Lanka, civil war. They overthrew their president too. Who knows how long before other countries do the same thing? Why is all of this happening? Because everybody's suffering. We're at the point of if we don't do something, we all die. Look at the weather. How many heat waves all over the world? Even Arctic. The Arctic is having heat waves. Bushes and trees and whatever burning down. It's happening all over. Where I'm at, Romania, apparently there's like a heat dome for like a week. It's supposed to be heat staying into place just here. And if you're outside, you probably have the sensation of suffocating and having a little bit of knowledge on the subject. Okay, hot air goes up, cold air goes down. Heat right now is trapped in a dome style shape here in Romania, where it's not desert like conditions. There are 4 seasons here, theoretically. So, what external source, what factor is keeping this hit into place? Yes, I'm speaking about weather control. It's happening everywhere. New fire starts, let's call it DEW weapons, direct energy weapons. Yeah, the lasers coming out of the noses of planes. Look it up. All these waves of pandemic mutations like almost every day now, feels like. And the names associated with them, it's like, what Greek mythology book are we reading? What Transformers movie are we watching? Omicron. Dun 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 dun. What does Omicron mean in the Transformers movie? And whatever BS names they're giving as well. I'm just gonna get straight to the point now. Earth, Earth is a home for souls from all over the universe. A home that was supposed to be a school of life for us all. Until, at one point, a certain technologically advanced race called the Anunnaki came and said, no, 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 this ain't no school of life for nobody. We're going to take control over all of you, especially your souls. And that's what they've been doing. And to control us over time, they've created resets. Resets meaning a flood, or a major volcanic eruption, or the sun disappearing from the sky, or whatever, for like X amount of time, till most people die. A few live, they get manipulated, they further pass down the word of God, which is them acting like God. They are not God, they're no better than us. Do they know more? Perhaps. Perhaps. But if you're an ancient soul like I am, and if you're watching this, you're an ancient soul too. We have all that information encoded in our very DNA. We just don't know how to access it. Point is, they're trying to create another reset, which means most people die. Right now, in this very present. So why am I making this video? Why did I make this video? Why did I record this message? If we do nothing, they will fulfill their agenda. We have to fight back. We have to fight these fake gods, wannabe gods, who feed off our very souls, or they will destroy this world, or rather, recreate it. All of us who die will lose our memories, get reborn, or recycled into new bodies. Happens all over again. Slaves forever, if you will. I don't want to be a slave. Do you want to be a slave? Do you want to be a slave? Because if you don't, we need to fight the fuck back. How do we fight back? Where do you work? What do you do? Who's the head of your company? Who has the most power? Get close. Find out as much as you can. If you feel they might be one of them, you know what to do next. If they want to genocide us, we need to genocide them first.